What it do, peeps? Sheryl Swoopes is been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got a APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave.
Sheryl Swoopes boldly stated that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever had no shot at landing top free agents. Fast forward, and Indiana just delivered one of the most impressive free agency hauls in recent history. Meanwhile, Swoopes' predictions continue to fall flat, raising questions about her credibility.
People in the Fever were like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
want to be here.
This is where I want to be.
Let's take a step back. Sheryl Swoopes, a Hall of Famer and undeniable legend, has recently embraced the role of full-time critic. She confidently claimed the Fever couldn't lure elite talent due to locker room concerns. And yet, here we are. The deals are done, the ink is dry, and Indiana just assembled a powerhouse squad. Meanwhile, Sheryl watches from the sidelines, likely gearing up for her next hot take.
Stephanie White came in and said, okay, hold up. Let me go to Indeed.com and Indeed get some free agents to come in here that want to play, that are accomplished, seasoned veterans. She did all that. Cheryl's been nowhere to be found. Sheryl got a lot of crow to eat, folks. Sheryl could be choking on crow right now. She need that Heimlich maneuver. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, tell her it's okay to come out and talk and say, man, you was wrong.
I can just imagine Sheryl scrolling through her phone, muttering, wait, they actually chose Indiana. But surprise, Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and even Asia Wilson's close friend, Sydney Colson, all signed with the Fever. Indiana didn't just win free agency. They ran away with it. And when Colson was asked why she picked the Fever, well, let's roll the footage.
I talked to Sydney Colson today about her signing with Indiana. She said that Kelsey Mitchell was actually the first person she hit up because they built a bond here, playing AU for the last 3 years. She said she heard some good things about Caitlin Clark from her Aces teammate Kate Martin as well, so that made the decision easy.
That's right. She wanted to play alongside Kelsey Mitchell, a close friend, and Caitlin Clark, the same players Sheryl Swoopes criticized just months ago. And here's the kicker. Swoopes claimed Clark would need years to adjust to the WNBA. Meanwhile, Clark's out here dropping 40 like it's routine, while Cheryl's predictions just keep aging like expired milk.
WNBA MVPs in your career, would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
And I can't, bro. Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin is dominant.
At this point, hating on Caitlin Clark feels like an Olympic sport, and Sheryl Swoopes is sweeping the podium, gold, silver, and bronze, all while looking salty. Clark won't fit in the WNBA. Tell that to Indiana, who just built a juggernaut around her. Caitlin isn't just adjusting, she's thriving, and the Fever are rising with her. Maybe it's time for Sheryl to take a step back because, once again, Indiana just proved her wrong.
No, but players who will be free agents next year, there's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
The real reason some WNBA veterans can't stand Caitlin Clark, she didn't wait her turn. She stepped in, shattered 62 records as a rookie, embraced the spotlight, and took the game global. And for some, that's a tough pill to swallow.
The Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any...
Caitlin Clark never needed anyone's approval to become the face of women's basketball. Her global recognition outshines many in the league, and it's all earned through pure talent. While others waste time criticizing, she's stacking awards, selling out arenas, and turning the Indiana Fever into the league's hottest destination. Incredible how a once overlooked team is now the main attraction.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
So, Cheryl, about those players who supposedly didn't want to go to Indiana, who exactly were you talking to? The ghosts of teams past. Because real players who actually matter, are lining up to join the Fever like it's the VIP section of an exclusive club. Did you really think Caitlin Clark would need to beg anyone to play with her? Let's be serious.
And further, when a game that Sheryl Swoopes was calling for the Dallas Wings, where the commentator was talking about how great Caitlin Clark had been playing, Sheryl Swoopes, silent for 60 seconds, didn't even want to address it. And it got so bad that the game that Dallas then went to play against the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, after the domination of the Chicago Sky, Sheryl Swoopes got pulled from the broad.
Someone check on Cheryl, because it feels like she's still living in 2002, back when the Fever were barely scraping by with a roster that felt more like a team-building exercise than a real contender. But times have changed. This isn't Tamika Catchings single-handedly carrying a squad of role players. The Indiana Fever are stacked now, with Natasha Howard, an elite scorer and championship-level defender, joining the team. Here's what she had to say about making the move.
It's going to be Caitlin Clark flash show. So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision on the court. Because that's like, as soon as she gets the ball in her hand, she's throwing it up because she already see the person down the court before she even get the ball in her hand. So that's one thing I love about her vision on the court. I really can't wait to catch all those passes and give her all the assists that she needs.
DeWanna Bonner is a 6'4" walking mismatch, an elite scorer and one of the WNBA's best. And guess what? She just went to battle on Twitter, shutting down all the Fever critics. Sophie Cunningham? She's got the swagger, the attitude, and enough trash talk to rattle any arena. And who does she want to team up with? Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, naturally.
Why does everybody hate Caitlin Clark? And do you hate Caitlin Clark? Come on, talk
dude.
to me.
Absolutely not. I think that she's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball. And I'm a fan. Like, I would love to play with her one day.
Even if Sydney Colson isn't logging big minutes, she's bringing the most fun, high-energy vibe the Fever have ever had. Team chemistry is off the charts. Seeing the pattern yet? These players chose Indiana to run with the Fab Four: Caitlin, Aliyah, Kelsey, and Lexi. While Sheryl Swoopes is busy racking up bad takes, the Fever are quietly building a dynasty. Maybe Cheryl's not even talking about Indiana. Maybe she's looking at the Aces, Sky, or Sun, who are struggling to hold it together. The Fever aren't just here to compete. They're here to take over.
No, that I'm very excited. And I really agree with a lot of the moves the Indiana Fever have made. There's not been one trade or pickup that the Indiana Fever have made that I have not been on board with. I'm on board with every single one. And I just want to say the fact that the Indiana Fever have gone out and got these great players like a Natasha Howard, like a DeWanna Bonner, like a Sophie Cunningham, the fact that they've gone out and got these great players shows that they believe Caitlin Clark is great right now. They are on board with the Caitlin Clark vision, and it just makes me happy because they're not treating Caitlin Clark like a rookie who is gonna be good in 10 years. No, they're treating her like a superstar who is good right.
By the way, every single narrative about the Fever is like whatever about them signing Sophie Cunningham, who they don't like. They love DeWanna Bonner. Like, these people, they signed DeWanna Bonner, and again, they were saying, like, we have actual people working for networks being like, DeWanna Bonner will never sign for the Fever for obvious reasons. And I'm like, what are the obvious reasons? Genuinely, what are the obvious reasons? They are basketball.
See, I'm really trying here not to crash out, okay? I can't take too much more. I just said the other day, what did I say? Another bomb is Sunday. I said, this isn't it. You know, I can't wait to see what the next bomb would be. Didn't know this would be the bomb. Stephanie White ain't playing fair. I have to say it again. Stephanie White is not playing fair. She on one.